Hello, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks for the warping square. I have my cones of yarn there. I'm running them through the mini reed here. I'm going to do two at a time. And I'm going to put them in my yarn clip. And this is really hard to do with one hand. Okay, so I have it in my yarn clip. Yarn clip, it's over the first hand. And let's see. Now there is a lot of debate on how to hold the yarn. What I do is I place the yarn, I kind of rest my hand right on the mini reed holder, if you can see that. And I just sort of lay the yarn in my fingers like this, and I put my thumb right on top. And the only reason why I like to have my thumb there is so that I can feel for knots. So that if there's a knot, I can stop and decide if I want to restart and take the knot out, or if I want to just do a little repair there, or just leave it go and finish it on the loom. So that's all I do, really. I mean, I could just sort of hold it like this, but I just put my thumb right on top, and that's what I do. We're gonna do 4 rotations here, so I'll do this a couple times, and then I'll show you how I push it back. So I'm going to pause this now until I'm done with the rotation. Okay, so I've done my 4 rotations. You can see where the yarn is laying on the arms. It's a little bit out from the arm. And what I'm going to do before I put the yarn through the mini reed, I'm going to go and I'm going to push all these back so that they go all the way back, nice and tight there. And then I'm going to take the yarn and put it in the mini reed where I want it. Just hard to do when you're watching the video. Okay, and then come down and do this. So these are, I mean, this is not loose. It's pretty nice and neat. I like to call it nice and neat. That's the way it looks. I'm going to do another couple, and then I'll show you what it looks like after I do another couple. Okay, so this is after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my 6th time going around. You can see where I'm winding on the arm, and these are all the previous 5 all pushed back nice and pretty tight. I mean, not super tight, but it's not really loosey-goosey at all. So I'll go back and let me see if I can hang on to this while I push them back. I push them back, and when I'm doing a long warp, I will even be more aggressive about pushing them back, so that you know, I'll push them all the way to the edge on each thing, so that you'll have a lot of room to wind them on the arm. Then I'm gonna put this on. I don't know if I can. Wrong one. Okay. And then, so I'm kind of keeping pressure on this string as I put it into the yarn clip, and then back up. So I think this might be one of the causes of some of the uneven tension, is not getting this area nice and neat. I don't know, that's a theory of mine. I'm not sure if that's truth or not. So I'm going to keep going, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. I'll do enough for a 2-inch section and show you what it looks like. And then I don't have an open loom right now to put it on, but we can undo it like we're doing a chain, so I can show you that. Okay, a couple points I wanted to make here. I said that this was all sort of tight and neat, but I am not putting a lot of tension on the yarn as I'm winding it. I'm just putting, you know, I'm just feeling if there's knots. I'm not actually squeezing it tight. I'm just really gently holding it. So it's just a matter of evenness, I think, not necessarily tightness. I wanted to say that. The other thing I wanted to say is if you put your yarn through the mini reed first and then push your yarn back onto each one of these things, onto the hands, you will get looseness. See how loose that one is compared to the other ones? It's just sort of hanging there. You can really see it right here. So I always push everything back first, and then I put it through the mini reed, and it will tighten up. The other thing that I have noticed is if you have this area here that goes into the mini reed, if you have not pushed this back the whole time, and you go and it's like loose like this, and you want to push it, you want to create more space, and you push this back, then that will create a bunch of sag with the ones that were furthest away, but not the ones that were closest. So that might also be a difference in tension. If you decide like halfway through that you want to push these all the way back, it will affect that. So just a little tip there. Okay, now I have enough for my 2-inch section, and I'm going to cut this off as soon as I find scissors. I'll be back. Okay, so I set up the tripod for this. We're ready to cut this off. And what I generally do is I cut right where this dowel is. I think it's a good thing. And I cut like straight across. I'm not sure if it really has anything to do with the way that the yarn comes off or not, but let's see if I can move my hand out of there. I'll hold it up here. Just cut straight across. And then I take it out of the crosses. Not the crosses, but this thing. And sometimes, depending on the way that I've cut, the yarn will be at an angle. See how it's a slight angle there? Sometimes it's a little more exaggerated. I tie the knot to be square with the reed. So when I tie my knot to be at the end, I don't tie it so that it's the angle's even. I tie it to be even with the reed, if that makes sense. So I just do an overhand knot. This is hard with the camera. So it's kind of like that. Okay, so now I'm going to take the mini reed out. Make sure you can see this. And I put it in here. And I should have showed you how tight it was. But so I'm just going to do a daisy chain and pull it through here. So this is how it's coming off. And I mean, it should stay nice and even. Let me pause this. And there we go, you can see the actual yarn a little bit better. So this is also how you do a chain for whoever was asking how to do chains. You just chain it as it comes through, unwind it, and then you can do however many you want.